Yeah. I am very weirdly conflicted in that I'm sorry, history has clouded my judgment, and I feel like Vegas is taking this series. At the same time, I have never believed more in a Minnesota Wild postseason roster than this one. Like I've never gone into a playoff series or even gone through one and thought, yeah, Minnesota is like a team that can win this series. This is the first one where I don't care what the result is. The Wild could get embarrassed the next two games. I still have a completely different view on this roster and have way more optimism going into next season than I thought I would. Period. Like I love what the team has done. There's definitely things that I would criticize and things that I would change, but guess what? There's a reason I'm not an NHL coach. So I'm dumb. I believe.
So yeah, you go. I want to hear more from you, just like the series in general. Is it just the game 4, the way it ended?
So, no, it's not even that. It's just the fact that the Minnesota Wild have never taken a 3-1 lead. They've never been able to do anything from a 2-2 position. Like it just history says the Wild are going the path that they've always gone, where they make you believe going up 2-1, and then they're just going to shit on your heart. I still feel like this is the team that can prove that history wrong. I'm not going to argue with history until it's been defeated. But in the back of my mind, I'd be lying if I said I didn't think this team could do it. And I've never felt that way about a Minnesota Wild team. I'm always the one sitting back like, you guys are fucking idiots. Why do you think that they have a chance? Come on, be smart. Damn it, now I'm the one that might not be smart because I really believe in this team. Now, again, some critical changes that I would personally make that I don't think John Hines is going to make. We'll see how it plays out. But I still love the way that a lot of these guys are playing. There's so much that I can like speak highly of and defend. I think Marcus Foligno and Ryan Hartman have been men possessed, and they are playing great hockey right now. I think somehow you're making it work, stacking your first line when I never would have thought that would work. I'm the guy that always preaches you got to have some level of depth. You've got to have multiple lines running. They're doing it with one fucking line right now, and it's crazy. And goddamn, the people that wanted Gus traded last summer, shove it up your hoop. And there's a lot that won't come out and admit it. There's people that are in prominent positions covering hockey that will not admit it, that I have on record absolutely wanted him gone. I'm just so glad that he wasn't traded, and he's probably the goalie of the future. Awesome. And I asked Joe this. What do you think, Z? We don't award Conn Smythe's 4 games into the quarterfinals. If you had to give a Conn Smythe to one player on the Minnesota Wild, who are you picking? We'll probably disagree. That's fine.
Yeah, I'm going to lean Gustavsson.
Wow. We agree.
Yeah.
Gus Boss.
Honestly, the only game where I was like, there's maybe 1 or 2 goals, and I'm like, I don't know. It was game 1. That's it.
Game 1, baby. Yep.
And even then, the plays leading up to those goals were unbelievably avoidable. So he has just been incredible, especially like game 4 is the first time where it felt like Vegas had multiple extended, like really strong pushes where they were dominant over stretches. Where like the first 3 games I didn't like, they had their moments. And no matter what happens, anytime the Minnesota Wild are on the penalty kill, I'm pissing myself.
Integrity, I'm going to disagree. I think 2 is Kaprizov and Boldy. 3 is Boldy and Kaprizov. Like, I can't put one over the other. Like, they're neck and neck for me. And I actually, tell you what, I go Boldy because he had so much on his shoulders coming into this. Everyone's question. Russo coming on with me and Joe. What version of Matt Boldy do we see? Because he has fluttered out in the playoffs every year. He's the guy that's Jekyll and Hyde throughout the season. Can he like go more than a 5-game stretch dominating? Can he avoid the 5 to 10 game skids where he's not on the score sheet? Matt Boldy has proven he's a fucking guy.
Mm-hmm.
Period.
Yeah, this is the exact. This is like what again. Whenever anyone talk about what does Wild need, first player that would come up is always gonna be Matt Boldy, just given the history and whatever. But I mean, we talked about this too. We had questions about what version of Kirill we were gonna get. Obviously, part of that had to do with the fact that fucking he had that injury. He had half the year out with injury, but like I think this is fourth playoff appearance. We've had one solid playoff performance from him so far, so we were wondering the same thing with Kirill. And even then, he still clearly isn't it. He's still been unbelievable, and we know that he's still not at 100%, which is also crazy. Yeah, no, they've both been excellent, obviously, but like you could still again make arguments for guys like Hartman and Foligno. Hartman's proven that he is a playoff guy. Foligno like just makes it happen. Like he is just a perfect third line forward. Like in the regular season, he plays the same way. He's not going to necessarily produce a ton of the regular season, other than that 120 goal year. But like in the playoffs, he just happens to either just be in the right spot. He finishes every hit. Obviously, he's got like 40, almost 40 hits in 4 games, which is insane. Watching him just run around every shift, like the boards are rattling, like the glass might break. It's unbelievable. But obviously, those two forwards outside of Kirill and outside of Boldy, clearly the most important. And I mean, I'm not going to necessarily say I'm like surprised with how good that they have been, or no, I'm not surprised that they've been good. I'm surprised how good Foligno and Hartman have been. Hartman's like impacted the play pretty much every time he's been on the ice,
and he's been disciplined.
Very
like I knew he could play this way. I didn't think he could avoid the bullshit, and he has absolutely done it. And I respect the hell out of it. Good for him. What the fuck is happening with whatever that third line was this past game? Why would Nyquist, a struggling Freddie Gaudreau, which he had a great regular season, resurgent regular season. People should be apologizing for begging for him to be traded. And then Vinny Hinostroza, who hadn't played for several games. How is that line getting more minutes than Rossi, Brazo, and Trenyan? Like, I don't understand how you can bring yourself to that point as a coach and think this is what's right.
Yeah, I do want to. Damn it! You're gonna beat me to that point. I'm trying to start with the positive. Why I think this is a different scenario. Why even after 4 games, even after the annoying way that
let's say positive. We can say positive. Positive.
Yeah, I'm just gonna do the positives real quick. Number one, Gustavsson absolutely capable of outdoing Aiden Hill. I don't think that was necessarily a hot take coming in because they're both really good. Like we see performances from them from both, but we were just wondering what Gus we're gonna get. We're getting what he got all year.
It's funny though that both of them spell their first names very weird.
Yeah. It's a key thing. This is the key thing we got to remember. But another positive that also makes me nervous because I don't think there's ever been, at least since he's got to Vegas, no one's really done this for an entire like round. The Wild are absolutely capable of really containing, I guess is the route. I'm not gonna. I was about to say. I was like, don't say dominate. That's not right. But Jack Eichel and Mark Stone, like they've had flashes. They've done so good at keeping them outside. They've listened. Game 4, they both made a couple of really nice plays. Obviously, was it Mark Stone that threw that pass to fucking Hurdle while he was on the ice with fucking Ryan Hartman? Like the fact that he even threw that puck over is crazy. But so far through 4 games, they've really contained them very well. I think a big part, we talked about this in live stream too, just how fucking aggressive they've been, whether it's like pinches from the D-man, how hard they're like obviously been on the forecheck and everything. They're not sitting back, take notes, LA Kings. And they found a ton of success in that way. So again, it also makes you very nervous. Jack Eichel tends to get better as series go on. And I'd say probably game 4 was the most noticeable that he's been so far, just because he had the puck way more than he had in the first 3. But the fact that they've been able to contain specifically those two as well as they have is like a huge bonus and a huge positive. And again, a big reason I still believe this is like a different Wild team versus like just the history that we have with them in the playoffs. And how fucking good has Jared Spurgeon been? Like, I'm not surprised because he's just been good when he's been healthy this year. But even when he's whatever, like not making like making offense happen or anything like that, like he's another guy, like he's been all over the ice. He's another guy that's been super aggressive with those pinches and found himself in the right spot at the right time. Decision making, how well he's defended. I think he's top 3 or 4 in the league in playoffs and plus minus whatever. Like when he's on the ice, just general good things happen. He's just been awesome.
I agree. Did you think we'd see the day, at least this soon, where not noticing Jared Spurgeon as much, especially like to the casual viewer, like he hasn't necessarily stood out, right? Like he's just playing super sound defensively. And he's a guy that I always saw either being like, you're going to notice him or you're going to notice him for the wrong reason.
Mm-hmm.
And he's just kind of like lingered there in the best way.
Mm-hmm.
Is that fair?
Yeah. That's fine.
Oh, that's fine. All right. I said something.
Yeah, no, I've just been, again, just naturally, whenever I watch him, always just like looking for those specific like little plays from like defensemen in general too. Like that's why I think I notice him a lot more. It's just I'm literally just like looking for it. But again, just like when he's on the ice, good things have been happening. The Wild have been controlling play when he's out there. Like I just think he's been awesome. It's been 4 really fucking good hockey games either way. So I'm loving the series. But we can go negative now.
Yeah.
Bad trends. I think it was already known. The double standard on Marco Rossi is sickening to me. Listen, if you want to put him on the 4th line, you know what? Fine. Because I love it. I love that he has found a way to produce now with a couple goals, and that trio has been excellent. It also, I'm like, God damn it, of course it's working when you put him on the 4th line. But like, why the fuck are they not on the ice? Why are they not on the ice? It's crazy. I don't know what the double standard is. I don't know why he has it, but like those 3 have been really good in the playoffs. It's funny. Like Russo talked about it too. Like when they talked to Barry Trotz about trending, he's like, don't worry, like he's going to make an impact in the playoffs. He's a playoff hockey guy.
Check him at Game 83.
Awesome. Yeah, Game 83, baby.
But dude, like what in the actual like I know not everyone takes a stance, but like the one that always gets me, we all know this, everyone listening, Tony Pants. A 5x5 is a no-brainer for both sides. Fuck you, dude. Straight up. I'm not saying that it's a disrespectful offer because it's not. Like I understand the Wild making that pitch. Just say that it's a no-brainer for Marco Rossi, given where the salary cap is going, given what he did for you this season, and given what he's done since he got here and the sacrifices he's made, everything he's battled through. To say that a 5x5 is a gift to him is fucking ridiculous. I'm sorry. Get out of here. Go make a fucking Akayushi steak. Pair it with a nice Italian red. I'm with Cosgrove. It's a reasonable opening offer, but to say it's a no-brainer for both sides, like that's what sends me. I'm not mad at the Wild for offering that, but if that's like the final offer, and if you think that that's a no-brainer, you are getting waterboarded with Kool-Aid and asking for more. Period. I'm so fucking over the glazing. I can't.
Yeah, and again, like the biggest example of this double standard is literally this Game 4 where scores a goal, that line, every time they go in the forecheck, they're making plays, they're creating turnovers, they're creating offensive possession. Again, they score, they produce. And then they basically are stapled to the bench for the next like period and a half. Like again, Rossi scores for the 2nd straight game. And through 2 periods, he has been on the ice for 4 minutes and 40 seconds. They asked him why he didn't play the last 13 minutes of that second period, and he mentioned it on that there was a lot of special teams. There was 2 penalties.
Mitch Chafee is playing for the Lightning right now and was just out there for a goal. I love that. Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah, he
scored it. Damn.
He played pretty much the whole year.
I know, but it's just like, I don't know. Tampa's one of those teams where it's really easy for me to ignore the depth and just look at the top.
Yeah.
And the fact that Chafee just scored a key goal. Very fun.
Hell yeah. But again, the fact that he again scores second straight game when that line's on the ice, they're turning pucks over, creating offense, whatever. They play under 5 minutes through 2 periods in that game. And the fact that like he's your second leading scorer all year long, and towards the end of the year, you played him less and less and less and less and less. He's only like earning demotions in the lineup, still producing, fucking just getting 0 ice time. I don't understand it. I don't know why.
Tampa just scored back to back, 2-1. Cooper might punch a baby, and I won't be mad at him. He's so excited.
But either way, very frustrating to see how the ice time shaking out, how the forward lines are being deployed, especially when you literally, the guys that are playing the least amount of minutes are producing offense for you.
Well, dude, let's talk about the blue line.
That's where I was going next. I hate this message that they're sending Z Bouillon. Hate it. Hate it.
What's the message? Make an honest mistake and you don't play again, especially in an overtime power play where we fucking need you. Dumbest shit ever. Ever.
It's just like, and I mean, like, you know, game 1 that the penalty happens, like, hey, you know what? The messages after that game, they were like, hey, it's going to happen, whatever. Just going to keep playing in game 2. Played more and more in game 2 and 3. Takes the bad penalty. Was that was the third period? And after that, pretty much stayed on the bench. Well, I mean, yeah, whatever. Like he takes penalty, doesn't matter. Whatever. Like either way, it results in Vegas scoring. Which, by the way, the PK literally up until the goal happened was looking outstanding.
Looked a lot better.
It drives me insane,
like, dude. It's not like he went full like seeing red Jared Spurgeon and chops a guy's Achilles. Like honest mistake, happens to get the bullshit 4 minute because of blood, which I still think is the dumbest rule that exists. And he doesn't play the rest of the game, especially in a critical moment where he is uniquely equipped to help you. Nah, you're out. We're going to play someone else. Well, great. We didn't score. We ended up losing the game. God damn it.
Yeah. And this is the link, what I mentioned earlier. We talked about LA and how they deploy those defensemen. Like, you send a message that he gets 4 more shifts after taking that double minor. Doesn't play a single shift in overtime. That means that fucking Brodin and Middleton are on the ice every other shift, including at the end of the game there when, like, obviously they're both gassed. Middleton, like, flubs the puck, turnover goal. Like, it led directly to that goal. Like, it's crazy. Like, so
it needs to be said, I appreciate our boy Cole, who's here almost every time we go live, comparing Heinz' hatred for kids to Mike Hastings. Cole, you're our people. You get me. You get me. By the way, Wisconsin not looking good, but that's a side tangent. That also makes me very happy. We're staying on negative. All right, keep me sad. Yeah, crazy to me that he was treated that way because of a penalty that was not like an egregious you fucked up error. Like, I'm sorry. That's insane to me. It's totally different if he like takes like some crazy retaliatory penalty or does something crazy, chops a guy. Like, no. Honest mistake that anyone could have made, ends up being a 4-minuter because it drew blood, which again, dumb fucking rule. And Z Boyum stapled to the bench. That crazy message to send to the kid. Now he's going to go out there and play and be walking on eggshells like, oh, I better not. I don't want to risk hurting.
Well, he's not playing. He's done. Like, he's not playing game 5.
Well, no, because Merrill will probably not look great in game 5, and then he'll be back.
I get, regardless of how they look, I can guarantee you that still they stick with Merrill. And
is that a guarantee or is that a guarantee?
Well played. That was
hey, Billy G.
But But just tell him, hey, we don't
crazy
trust you. So now if he does feature back in the series, every single time he touches the puck, he's gonna be thinking twice. Which is like if you want him to do Z bullion things, he cannot play like that. So I hate the message it sends him. Again, hate the message it sends Marco Rossi. Like even if you produce, which like also it's crazy that Hines is like, well, special teams factored into like him not really playing. Which again, there were 2 penalties. There was 1 power play, 1 PK. Also, he has been at least on your second power play unit the whole fucking year. Like, at least he's been on the second PP unit. Like, second leading scorer. So those 2 things are the things really good at like, because again, after 4 games, I feel great about Minnesota. Like, they've been excellent in these games. Outside of like the raw numbers as far as special teams go, because it is funny. But those are specifically the bullion thing and the deployment of that 4th line.
Rossi has me way more mad than Bullion, if I'm being honest. Like, because I've been negative in the past on Merrill. He's had a solid year.
He's been fine.
I'm just very curious to see what happens when it's him and Bogosian on a pairing in the postseason against this Vegas team. I'm nervous that they will be exploited. And that's not to say that Z Bullion was going to be some crazy difference, but he at least brings a benefit that the other 2 players don't. Who is quarterbacking your power play, and how is it going to be better than the garbage that it's been? Because there's no fucking way. And you're probably playing 5 forwards, and that scares me just as much. I don't like it. I don't like it. There it is. Boldy. Great. That scares me.
Yeah. But
I don't know. But the Rossi stuff drives me crazy. He's gone. I can't change it, but I just can't for the life of me wrap my head around why they are treating him this way.
It's also like even if you're resigned to the fact that you're trading him in the offseason, boost his fucking value.
How can you expect to get something back when you are playing him like this? Oh my fucking God. It's crazy. And dude, if I'm Marco Rossi, I'm telling them fuck off. Like, good luck signing me because I'm out.
Yeah.
Like, he's done everything for them. Like, do they owe him anything? No. But guess what? This guy has done fucking everything. He almost died. That's right. Hangover. Did you die? He almost fucking died, comes in and gets buried by fans because he can't ramp up right away, stays here in the offseason and misses his sister's wedding, comes in and fucking torches for you, puts up crazy numbers, beats the record rookie scoring, and you're like, yeah, we're just not convinced he's good enough. We know that Yurov's going to come in and be a top 6 center. No, you fucking don't. No, you don't. It's insane to me. I cannot understand. And again, if the team's made a decision and he's gone and he's not the right fit for XYZ, like, I can, to an extent, like, understand and respect it and say, you know what, you guys know better than me. But the way that they have treated him since, they're not boosting his trade stock, so that's fucking dumb. They're not giving him a chance to even prove himself and say, keep me here. It's like they've resigned to, you're gone and we don't care what we get back. We just don't want you here. And that drives me absolutely crazy. I can't.
Let's see.
I'll be right back. I got to just run real quick and say goodnight to the little guy. And then I'll be back in and we'll keep talking about this. Mateo, if you've got any good chats, throw them up. Let Z say whatever. I'll be back in like 1 or 2 minutes.
Sounds good, dude. Yeah, I hate the fact that this I actually just saw the title. Hate it. Vegas Golden referees. I don't care about this officiating thing. I really don't. There've been a couple ridiculous moments. Same time, I'm not gonna get all worked up about it. I just it drives me nuts when everyone does that. Again, there's been some egregious bad moments from the rest, but far from the reason that any of these games have gone the way that they've gone. So that's that. Of course, we can't watch the Minnesota Wild play hockey without at least one injury scare. Obviously, Johansson was out last game. Looks like he's good to go. He's back in. Eriksson Ek blocks the Eichel shot at the end of the third period. Takes a maintenance day. We'll see what happens there. So we've got Devon Shore. The fact that the fill-in was Devon Shore playing kaprizov and boldy the practice lines on that top line really made me do a double take. That's scary. Hopefully Eriksson Ek, just a maintenance day, is back in. But one other interesting thing from today's practice was Liam Ogren traveling to Vegas, and at least being promoted from Black Ace to whatever practice squad. Who knows? I mean, I wouldn't hate seeing him in there playing with, like, if you're gonna keep Nyquist, if you're gonna keep him in, or Goudreau in, I wouldn't mind seeing Liam Ogren come in for like Gus Nyquist, because he's giving you, I think he has 1, maybe 2 shots on goal so far in the series. He's like just giving you essentially nothing offensively, a bunch of bad turnovers. Same thing with Goudreau. I'd be shocked if he did crack the lineup, but the fact that it's even a consideration or a thought or a possibility is interesting. Still think it's a long shot, but interesting to see that he, at least in the words of Russo, promoted from Black Ace to the Minnesota Wild practice squad. It's interesting.
I was going to say, when I came back, we have to talk about Ogren, but good work. I also have to not even apologize, because my previous negativity came from like what I was seeing. Marcus Johansson's been awesome.
Mm-hmm.
He really has. It makes me sad because it means that Tony Pants is thrilled. But if JoJo isn't coming back in, do you feel like Ogren makes sense to be the guy that steps in the middle six, or like does he have to be in the top 6 in your mind?
No, I think Johansson's back. He's good. Like,
I know he is.
Like in that, he's taking the line rushes today. I wouldn't even. I was just, so this is what I was just saying. Give me fucking, if you're gonna give me fucking Foligno, Goudreau, Ogren. Like, I don't care. Like, that's fine, because again, you're literally getting nothing as far as offense goes from Gus Nyquist, unfortunately. Like, literally,
yeah, Kieran's never going to admit that he fucked that trade up. He's going to play.
Yeah, who knows?
I think that's unfair to Hinostroza from a like. I understand the question and sentiment. I also feel like that's a guy that's coming in cold, like has not played in a while. I'm not going to judge him on that one start. Now,
yeah, that's a tough spot to come in. That was a tough spot.
That's a guy that hasn't been playing. Agreed, but like, it's one game. He was fine, I guess.
The one thing I was saying before that, like, briefly scared the shit out of me today was like, so Eriksson Ek takes the maintenance day, blocked that Eichel shot the other third period. Who do they have taking line rushes with the first line is Devon Shore? I was like, no, they are dedicated to this bit of keeping Marco Rossi on the fourth line. Don't even fucking take line rushes. Right. But I was like, okay, we know that that's the line combo they're going with on that fourth line. I would assume Eriksson Ek gonna play, but it was I was like, that's crazy. That was the guy to take line rushes with those two. But
I'm gonna ask you a very direct,
very frustrating
question,
Rossi thing
that won't have a direct answer. Does Matt Zuccarello need an extension?
This is, you and I have talked about this before too, like especially during that stream. I mean, the guy still could play, and he's producing like he has been. Like,
can I say, for a guy that's like viewed generally as like the grouchy old man, the curmudgeon, I love, respect, I don't even know the right word for it. The fact that he's a guy that flat out tells Russo and Joe, like, I don't want to talk to you after a win because I have nothing to say. Bring me out here after a loss and I'll fucking tell you what went wrong. Like,
yeah.
You need that. You need it. And he's a guy that, like, throughout his career has been a consummate pro, like has never really had a bad season. And he is my better hair Marty Light.
There you go. Yeah.
A little engine that could.
Yeah, I think like the one year that we were all like, was year one in Minnesota. Literally since then, he's just been solid.
I thought it was the weirdest signing, and it's turned out to be like an incredible signing. Yet
Yeah.
another great move made by a horrible human.
Yeah. The whole debacle, that was a crazy period of time.
People will forget, and I'm going to do everything in my power as long as this podcast exists to make sure that people don't forget the ridiculous Paul Fenton era, because it was something.
At the same time, he gave us the Lizard King nickname.
Yeah, that was ridiculous.
Also, the fact that Matt Zuccarello signed the contract.
In fairness, he gave us Brock Faber too.
It's true.
Turning Granlund into Faber and Ogren, love that.
I never put it together that way. Yeah.
Paul Fenton knows hockey. He just doesn't know how to be a good person.
Yeah, I think.
Which I feel like that's kind of weirdly the that gets placed on hockey people in general, like, oh, scumbag people, but whatever. Like, nope, he proves their point.
Yeah.
Fever dream. Yes, integrity. And this is not a victory lap because I've had plenty of things wrong, but the Fiala for Granlund trade, I celebrated. I was so excited. And so many people were pissed. Oh my God, was I happy about that trade.
Yeah.
But I was also probably a little higher than I should have been on Fiala and definitely lower than the general fan on Granlund. So It's the perfect concoction. But yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Anything else on this series though?
I mean, we haven't even really talked about the Vegas side of things, right?
True.
And we don't have to like go crazy on it, but it is nuts that they put the lines in an absolute blender and had 4 legit lines that went up against us, and that's what kind of unlocked them. And I wonder, and what we saw on the ice wouldn't directly point to this, but do you think that the Stone plus Eichel pairing, like, almost we're overthinking it? Like, we need to be the shutdown guys because that's kind of our MO and what we've been heralded as, versus just going out and fucking playing.
Yeah, maybe.
Like, again, I didn't see that on the ice, but like, do you think that's what's going on in their brains at all? Because they were not producing. Like, it's insane to me that they hadn't done anything through the first 3 games. And, you know, I had to actually go out and like tell people to stop jinxing it into existence.
Yeah. This whole series so far, the thing that's been fascinating is just how perimeter they've stayed. Like, I feel like almost every time I've seen either one of those guys in the puck, it's just been on the outside. Like Eichel's just been like hanging on, looking for seams. Like, even on the power play, even when the puck ends up in the net, like for like a minute and a half on their power play, it's just like stick handling, moving pucks, trying to like rifle a shot. Again, like hits guys with the skate, but like then the dam eventually just like breaks at some point. But the fact that it kept him off the score sheet completely for the first 3 games?
Impressive.
I think it was Game 4 that he got his first point in the series. It's crazy. Yeah, I don't know if they're necessarily overthinking it. Eichel pretty much has this history of like since Vegas, because I mean he didn't play playoff.
History of being a horrible person in the locker room, cancer, some might say. I'm sorry, I'm never going to get over it. I'm never going to get over the fact that Wild fans didn't think that it was ridiculous to pay up for him, but thought that bringing him in would be a problem. If you removed salary cap, if you removed trade value, like, people thought if Jack Eichel is part of the Minnesota Wild, he will ruin us from within, like Parise and Suter did. And I didn't know how to react because I never thought something that audacious would be said.
Yeah, I love it.
I am a Jack Eichel truther. I've always been a big fan.
Yeah.
Granted, easily McDavid at this point. If you're picking between the two, like, how do you not pick McDavid? But like, even when Buffalo lost that draft lottery, I'm like, you know what, Buffalo, you shouldn't be that mad because of all the years to get fucked out of the first overall pick. I'd say this is the one.
Right.
Curly-headed fuck.
Yeah, I think even Eichel after, I think it was after game 4, I mentioned it too, like, for them and him especially to just produce more offense. The thing I was saying was, like, they just have to get to the net more because there's just been so much time where he's been on the puck, stick hand, looking for seams, maybe overthinking it that way versus like just getting pucks on net or just getting to the middle of the ice. But I like, even like their cycle game's been off too, where it's still like pretty stagnant when they're out there. I don't know. It's looked different, but I mean, I think in Russo, I think he wrote it too, is like Eichel loves game 5s. It's when they're back fucking at home again, which is scary actually, but I guess regular season wildly good on the road. But yeah, I don't know. They've just been so perimeter, and I haven't, like, game 4 is the first time where I felt like they had extended possession time on the puck, but like, again, a lot of it was still on the outside. So if they get to the middle of the ice, that's going to be scary. And Eichel's more than capable of doing that, so it's been interesting so far. But yeah, as far as like the overthinking, like playing responsible hockey, I think it's more overthinking like individual plays and like trying to make the perfect play, score the perfect goal. Like Mark Stone literally threw the puck at Hurdle and a Hartman, and it ends up in the net. And it's like, maybe they just have to just throw more hopeful fucking shots on it. I don't know. But also, again, shout out Gustafsson. He's made some ridiculous saves on both of those guys.
Dude, straight up. And it's crazy that like the 2 centers that were clearly available to be traded for, that I was like so on board for trading whatever it took to get them, are both on the Vegas Golden Knights. Drives me crazy. I love Tomas Hertl. I'm obsessed. I've loved him since he made a start in the league, and I'm so sad that he has to be a member of the Vegas Golden Knights, because that guy, I love everything about the way he plays.
Yeah, what a fucking player, dude.
Can you imagine him being between Boldy and Kaprizov?
Makes me want to throw up.
In a good way?
Yes.
Yeah, that's like the only thing that I didn't want to do is throw up.
Yeah.
Repeat a little.
Well, throw up, like, I guess since he's not here.
So you want to throw up that he's not here. Got it.
Yeah.
Sorry, I heard that wrong.
But yeah, I think he leads their team right now, 5 points in those 4 games. I mean, he's winning faceoffs. He's a factor at both ends of the, like, he's just been solid.
It's actually crazy. We have not talked about the most important thing to most Minnesota Wild fans, and it was actually the thumbnail for this whole live stream. How much do you blame the refs?
Oh, I can't. I didn't even realize until Mateo put the graphic up. I didn't even realize the fucking title of this stream was Vegas Golden Referees. I couldn't care less.
I think that's maybe too much. I will say, like, let's just keep it to game 4. Did those calls directly lead to the Wild losing? No. Were there some egregious misses? I would argue yes. But there weren't any. Like, I'd be more bothered if there was like a missed call that directly led to like a pivotal moment. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
The reffing's been bad. And Mateo actually asked on our mailbag on Fellowship of the Rink, is it reputation for Vegas that, oh, they're the least penalized team, and that's why like these seemingly 50-50 calls are all going Vegas's way? Like, is there anything to that, or do you think that's just Wild fans grasping for straws like we always tend to?
I don't think so, just because, like, Boston, obviously not a referee, never been a referee, never will be. But like,
I wouldn't let my kid be a referee.
Basic psychology just tells me, like, if I'm when I go in, like, I don't want that to be a thing. Like I would probably go the other way with it. I'd be like, we gotta fucking make that change. Like I don't want anyone to think that we're fucking pampering Vegas. Like, I would think it would. I would go
But do
that
you
way.
want to be the guy that calls all the penalties on the team that doesn't get penalties? I don't know.
I think for first three for sure. Like they were trying to honestly just keep the whistles in the pocket. The couple of the misses were the ones that were egregious, but I don't know. I there have been a couple bad ones. Yeah, there are a couple of egregious ones or whatever. I don't think it's led to a loss either way. So like that's the
Agreed.
Whole thing.
Also,
just, like it drives me crazy.
It helps that Minnesota absolutely wants us to be played 5-on-5. Like Joe Smith has said it. Jesse Granger emphatically said it. He's like, guys, complain about the refs all you want. It's in Minnesota's benefit for this to be played 5-on-5.
In either direction.
They suck on the power play and penalty kill.
Yeah,
like straight up.
I don't want any. I don't want either way, dude. But again, I think and like just on the special teams too, it's so weird because I think they're like their PK is like 12 out of 16. I think they're like 60 something percent. But they're a bit like the first 3 minutes of the Booyah double minor, Vegas had nothing. Like Gustafsson made one really nice save, but they kept everything outside. They were clearing pucks, and it was just the one breakdown. It was the one. And then there have been, I think, 2 of the power play goals they scored the first like 5 seconds of the power play. It's like, fuck, we familiar with that one. That one felt familiar. It's all year. But like there have been like such good sequences on the PK, and it's just so annoying when it immediately breaks down with one play. It's like, to that. Which there you go. I guess that's just the way it goes. But yeah, I don't know. It doesn't feel like there should be 60% on the PK.
No.
Power play is a different story. They've had 1 or 2 ones that looked good. That's about it.
What's the solution though? Like, do we just have completely inadequate personnel? Is coaching completely to blame? Like, what? I just don't have a good answer for how to fix the power play besides, weird, have a power play quarterback like Zeke Bouillon.
Well,
how crazy is it that Kalen Addison would actually make a difference, even though he is not an NHL defenseman? Clearly, the league has decided that he would be somewhat of a liability defensively on the third pairing, but he would make your power play better. Objectively, I can say that.
Mm-hmm.
Am I wrong?
No. The power play is just, especially when you decide we're going no Z Bouillon, we're going 5 forwards, you're immediately deploying like Matt Boldy at the top, which is you're not going to get anything from Matt Boldy at the blue line. Like you're just not.
I'd rather put Kaprizov there.
Or like let Kaprizov do what he likes to do and just roam. Like that's like half their strategy. Or it's like usually the most successful power play is like moving the puck, where it's just like, you know what, fucking Kaprizov's gonna take the puck. He's going 10-2, and he's gonna tomahawk around the fucking ice.
Do you know where I'm going because you said let him rove?
No.
I'm going rover, coach. I'm just gonna go rover. No, Jackie, run the play. Don't go rover. What's the jejunum?
Yeah.
It's attached to the small intestines. Ho.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like there's almost every time they get a power play too, it's like there's 1 or 2 legit issues that are different each one, where it's like half the time they can't just establish any possession in the first place, or they actually do, but everything is just passing to the outside, no movement. Like it's just, again, something that really helps is having a guy at the top who moves the puck, who can dance on the blue line, create shooting lanes, create passing lanes, like make the fucking PK move. But half the time that it's either like they don't get the puck into the zone, or they do lose it immediately, like try to dump it in. That's another thing that drives me nuts too. When they like dump the puck in and it's just an easy like pick up whoever's in net, they just dish it out. But like it's so stagnant whenever they do finally establish possession, where it's like if you're the PK, you just don't have to move. Like you could just hang out. and like there's no opening lanes, no manipulation with the puck, off the puck. Like it's just no movement. It's just guys waiting around for like hopefully like a one-timer, or maybe if you throw one on net, get a rebound. Like it's just like the way that they've decided to like attack on the power play. Like Joel Eriksson, I remember, has been like their leading power play goal scorer the past couple of years from like Hyman area, like in the Hyman fucking zone. It's like he's being a dick and he's just gonna like knock fucks in.